All praises to the Most High. It's that part of the day where it's so dark. Shabbat, Shalawam. Sabbath probably off where some of y'all are at. Still on for me. Still on the west side. Shabbat Shalawam for us on the west. Late Shabbat Shalawam if I missed you. Another 30 minutes or so in Oklahoma. All praises to the Most High. Sister Shar, we love it, sister, right there. Right? They don't know, sis. Give the king my love. My brother Yasha Aya. Right? Man. That last joint was something, wasn't it? I was watching it earlier. Man. That thing was fire, wasn't it? I watched that thing back. I was like, ooh. Right? And then the wind started blowing. That's the Holy Spirit, y'all. Yeah, all praise it. Yeah, they were trying to interrupt that Sabbath, huh? Yeah, when that wind start blowing like that, y'all, that's the Holy Spirit. Read Jonah's story. Read Jonah's story. Right? When it was time for him to come up off of that ship, that wind went crazy and was rocking that boat. They said, man, throw him out so this can stop. You know? Yeah. What we doing? What we talking about? Ain't no telling like Jack told Helen. Let's see how many precepts we could get on this. I'm so dry right now, y'all. I come in here and just look at this screen like, you know, 5 minutes, you ain't gonna be able to shut me up. I'm blank right now. I'm idle right now. Watt gonna jump in us and we gonna be, I'm gonna be talking and y'all gonna be typing and you know what I'm saying? All praises to the Most High. Sorry, it's so dark and you can't see my eyes. I need you to see my eyes, right? That's why I don't wear sunglasses. You could do a lot of faking with some sunglasses on. They trying to hide who they are. These cats that always got these dark shades on, they don't want you looking in their face. You know, because they be feeling funny. They like, you know, you standing there lying. You know your whole person is fake. Take them shades off out there. If you a true brew, throw them shades in the trash, man. Right? Oh, praises. What you hiding? What you hiding for? Take off them shades when you talk to me, brother. Right? Nah, I'm kidding. Keep your shades on, brother. Right? I just want to put that on somebody's mind. Right? Yikes. Ooh. That's pretty. I like that. Yeah, let's break down some scriptures, man. Mm, yikes. Okay, yeah. Let's get into it, y'all. This one today, let's talk about our will, right? You know, it's not only about the Most High's will, y'all. It's about our will too. What is your will, right? Of course, it's about the Most High's will. But what is our problem? Our problem is our will, right? That's what our problem be. It's our own will. It be getting in the way a lot, don't it? The things you do, it should be done out of kindness. It should be done out of kindness. If it ain't being done out of kindness, out of the kindness of your heart, then why are you doing it? You know, that's important to the Most High. If it ain't being done out of the kindness of your heart, he rather you not even be doing it. And ain't our parents the same way? When I was growing up, If I went, if I did something like that, man, my mom would lose it, right? Your consent is important, y'all. Let's bring one to mind. Let me line up this precept while I'm lining them up, right? That's what I'm about, y'all. I'm about getting us in that mind with the Most High where we just lockstep, right? You know, shouldn't have to be nobody poking a finger in your chest all the time, telling you off and forcing you and stuff like that, right? There's nothing more precious to me than the insider, right? When all we got to do is look at each other and communicate, and we know what everything is about, right? Just a look, you know what I'm saying? That's precious, y'all. And that feels better than anything else. Somebody standing over you and, telling you what to do all the time, telling you how to think and feel, what should be important to you and not. Most High is the same way. Ain't that beautiful, y'all? If we could get it like that, with a minimal conversation, right? And we just on one accord. That's what the one accord is about and all of that, But I'm talking about a specific thing, right? Talking about a specific thing. I'm talking about our charity. I'm talking about our works. I'm talking about the things that we contribute, the things that we do selflessly, right? And how to get it appreciated by the Most High to where He rewards you, right? Yeah, that's what this is about. The cheerful giver is coming to mind. Let me line that one up. The cheerful giver, right? Bang, right? 2 Corinthians 9 and 7, right? Let's read it. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7. Every man according as his purpose, according as he, hold on, maybe we should back it up so we could really know what we're explaining, right? So back it up 1 to verse 6, and it says, but this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly, right? So if you just, you ain't giving much, you're giving a little bit. If you give a little bit, if you sow sparingly, you shall reap sparingly. If you give a little bit, you're going to get a little bit. And that's what whatever you do in this life, right? Give a lot and you'll get a lot. If you give a lot, you'll get a lot. It don't matter, right? Practice make perfect and all that. Yeah. The more you practice, the better you'll be at something, right? If you want to be good at something, do it a lot. And that's what I was talking about also with the Most High. We ask him for patience. Guess what he gonna do? He gonna feed you a whole bunch of situations that's gonna require you to have patience, right? You ever notice that? You tell me you ain't noticed that, right? Please, Father, help me with my patience. And then you go around the corner, this is going on, that's happening, and you feel almost like he's cursing you because, like, man, I just asked for patience. Now I'm getting hit with all of these situations where I'm about to unravel, right? Right? That's because every situation you're realizing something else, right? And it might be a while before you see the progress because what you're seeing ain't the glue, right? You got this over here, like, Father, give me a sandwich. You know, an analogy that I'm about to bring, right? Father, all I want is just a sandwich, right? So, boom, he'll give you meat. You go a little more, he'll give you some lettuce. You go a little more, he'll give you a couple slices of tomato, right? You go a little more, he giving you and you looking at this stuff like, what is this? Right? And then you'll have everything you need to make the sandwich, but it's all scattered, right? And then the wisdom will come like, you got everything, put it together. Bang! You got, you know what I mean? But when you desperate, you don't see nothing in the separate components. It ain't making no sense, right? You just like whatever, right? And then when you get that final uh ingredient that just brings everything together, right? And then everything start making sense, right? But that's how it is. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And it don't feel like you gaining nothing, but every time you go through it, you're gaining something that's making you a little bit better, even if you haven't had a chance to display it yet, right? So, boom, all of a sudden, you get that final ingredient, you get that final piece, and then it's like, here comes all your knowledge, and you're in front of it, beforehand because you've been through it so many times. All right, at this part right here, I got to turn like that and fit through sideways. Bang, okay, I got a duck right here. Woo, right? I got a bunny hop right there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you had to start over and fail for to learn each one of those things. And then they get to the point like where like it's like a course, and it's scriptures that compare this walk to a course, right? Going around, a course. Slide to the side, duck, jump. Whoo. You know what I'm saying? Slide to the left, slide. You know what I'm saying? Now, somebody who never seen that done and never seen anybody go around that course, when they see you for the first time, you look like a crazy expert, right? They just pop up and you just bang, bang. They don't know that you had to go around that course 50 times and learn that, right? So the more you do something, the better you're going to get at it, the more you're going to benefit from it, right? I went crazy in this Bible, right? And I know a lot of people don't have the capacity to do that. You got a set amount of minutes or hours every day for this Bible. But I mean, I was living in it, y'all, all day, right? Bouncing here, bouncing there. That's just how thirsty my soul was. I felt like, why? Why should I close this book? Everything was in the book, right? I'm gonna close this book and do what? Go where? Where am I going? What am I doing? Right? Because man, this book was feeding me ancient knowledge, right? I'm telling you, man. Yikes. But you give a lot, you're gonna get a lot, right? If you sow sparingly, you're gonna reap sparingly. You're gonna reap. If you give what's laying around, you're gonna get back what's just laying around. Okay, yeah, throw on that. You know, you know. But if you give bountifully, you shall reap bountifully. And that's verse 6. Verse 7 says, every man according as he purposed it in his heart. So where is this coming from? It's coming from your heart, y'all. That's determining how much you're going to give. That's determining how much you're going to withhold. That's determining how much you're going to do, how much of yourself you're going to put forward. Where is that resting at? In your heart, right? Every man according as he purposed it in his heart. So let him do what? So let him give. Let him give what? According to what's in your heart. But it don't matter how much you're giving. If you're giving a lot or a little bit, it's finna tell you how to give. Let him give how? Not grudgingly. Oh man, I don't want to be doing this. Don't give like that. If you're gonna put yourself forward in that manner, you might as well keep it. Just don't even do it, right? Saith the Most High, right? Not grudgingly or of necessity, right? Or of necessity. That means just barely what's necessary, right? You got all of this, right? And you're only gonna give barely what you see in need. No, I don't get that. Double that, right? At least give 1.5. I need 1. You gonna give barely 1, right? Nah. Or I know you need 1, so I'm gonna give 98% and tell you to go find the other 2%, right? Nah, give 150. Give 200, right? Give 200%, right? That's giving above necessity. Why? Why should you do this? How does it end? For God loveth a cheerful giver. Don't that feel better? When somebody, oh yeah, I got that, throw it to you. Oh, here, you know what I'm saying? I keep talking and everything is chipper. You feel bad when somebody's just like, when you could see it killing them to give it to you, like man, just keep it. Go ahead on, keep that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's how the Most High is. We serving the Most High, y'all, and that's what this is about. It's about serving the Most High, right? And He's conditioning us to do a good job in everything that we do, y'all. That's His aim with this. Be a cheerful giver, right? Fall in love with that. You know, it ain't a lot of souls that's gonna do that. And when you look at it like that, it ain't so impossible for you to do when you realize that nobody's gonna do this and everybody is running around acting like this is impossible. Show them it ain't, right? You know, when I see something like that, that make me feel like, let me show you how this supposed to get did, right? You know, let's be selfless out there, right? Easy to be entreated, right? And all of this. You know the tunes and all of that. This is what I'm talking about. You know, this is the kind of stuff that them songs be coming from, you know? Just me sitting back pondering on stuff like this and just chilling with this book open, you know? 2 Corinthians 8 and 12, where we going next, right? But I have a desire to encourage a big heart, y'all. My whole time in this truth, I've been watching it and saying, if we gave more, we feel better. You know, we only trying to give minimal, and that's why we only receiving minimal. You know, man, our Father is rich in all things, and He's ready to spoil us, y'all, in all things. You know, it's been irking me forever that men ain't teaching this. Teach this, man. Teach people how to be better people, man, so that when somebody step in your church, they don't get looked up and down, right? So that cliques don't form. Nah, we this kind, you know? And the things that's bringing them together, it ain't even righteousness, you know? It's crazy. Cliques and schisms and railings, right? Somebody thinking they too high, thinking they better than everybody else. And then somebody else feeling like they barely deserve to even be there, right? You know, we need a correction of our mentality and our manners and, you know, things like this. But Romans 10 and 17, right? Faith come by hearing. Faith is your level of belief in the Most High, right? The closer you get to Him, the righter you're going to think. The closer you get to Him, the more things that ain't right will bother you. You won't be able to just, oh, I'm just going about my day. You won't be able to do that. It'll just, right? And what do? You'll be wise enough to know that you can't major paint it, you know. But what you gonna do? First and foremost, you're gonna change yourself. You're gonna start with you, right? That's on your shoulders the most. Like, man, did I just do that? Because I know I hated seeing that done. Did I just do what I hate seeing done? That's what time it is, y'all. Right? This is what time it is. It's time to go further than we the Israelites and Christ is black and keep the Sabbath and stop eating pork. Right? You know, a lot of people got that and like, okay, I'm ready for the kingdom. No, you're not. No, you're not. We got more work to do. We got better people to become, right? A beautiful people, a glorious church, right? All praises to the Most High and Him alone. 2 Corinthians 8 and 12 says, for if there be first a willing mind, I could just stop that right there, right? I could just, first, no, second. If there first be a willing mind, is your mind willing? It don't matter what your hands and your feet is doing. Oh man, let me just go on and do this, man. That even make your hand movement look ugly. Y'all see that? Oh man, I hate that. Don't that look ugly? It make the hands look ugly, like you know. Now watch the hands again. Oh man, I don't mind doing this. I love doing this. This is blah blah. You see that? You see that energy? It's a whole it changes, y'all. It changes everything, right? The mind you do things in. You know, if there first be a willing mind, right? Wow. It is accepted according to that a man has. It is accepted according to that a man has, and not according to that he has not. That's how the Most High is accepting it. He's accepting it by how you have it. Do you have a lot of this or do you have a little? Right? Have a lot. Have a lot when you do it for the Most High. That's bringing another one to mind. Right? And we going to get it. Right? Yeah, we're going to go there. Do it well, y'all. Give him a lot because he knows what you got because he put it in you. Right? There's nothing more beautiful than trying to give the Most High back what he gave you, right? He didn't give you half of a life. He gave you a whole life, right? In a whole open earth. And that's why charity is so beautiful, right? Especially when you don't have a lot yourself, you know? But if you get into doing that, you'll have. Because we need to go there too. That's in this book. You know? Yeah. It's better to give than to receive. Who would you rather be? The giver or the receiver? Who would you rather be? I love giving more than receiving. If you got to receive, then you was in need, man. I'd rather be the one on the other side extending my hand, right? Let's read that. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, right? This is Luke 6 and 38. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over, shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure that ye meet withal, it shall be measured to you again, right? It's going to keep saying it. Give and you'll receive. And when you receive, make sure you give too. Make sure you give again. Make sure you give a portion of what you get, right? If you get something, oh, that's precious, man. If you get something, give a piece of it. That's Jacob right there. That's Jacob. That's an oath he took, right? If you keep me in this way that I go, let's get that one. Dang, it's so many of them, y'all. Yikes. Let's read that one right now. Not now, but right now. Right. Right now. Right? Genesis 28. Right? Genesis 28, 20 through 22. And our forefather, the one that God us all chose, says, and Jacob vowed a vow, saying, what did he say? If God will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat, now, no starch, and raiment to put on, right? 21, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, so that I make it back home, right? Then shall the Lord be my God. 22, in this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be the most high's house, and of all that thou shalt give me, I will surely do what? Give the tenth unto thee. What is the tenth? The tithe, right? And that's when the tithe was born. Tenth tithe is the same word. It's the same word. That's when the tithe was born, y'all. And we in exile. We in exile. So that I come again, verse 21, so that I come again to my father's house in peace. Right? That's so that, man, this don't turn off just because we go somewhere. Nah. This is wherever, right? Wherever thou goest. Right? This is when the tithe was born. And that's on us, fam. That ain't on no other nation. So we're locked into generosity. You see that? Ain't that beautiful to be that nation? That's why they had to take us down, y'all, because they didn't want to do this. They didn't want to see this done or none of that. They didn't want the pressure of people looking at them because they don't do this, right? They didn't want none of that, right? Let us make these people right so they no longer be a nation, right? Psalm 83, right? No, no, let's get rid of these people. They making a fool of us, right? It's our forefather Jacob right there, y'all. Acts 20 and 35. Let's read that one. If y'all want to get there, if you got your book with you, right? This is part of our being. Come, brother Michael. Absolutely. Right? And we want good, man. We want good. And that's when this world is going to end. When the world realizes that, right? And that's when they ain't going to be able to look in no other direction. They're going to say, we got to kill these people. That's how the world is going to end, y'all. The whole world is going to try to get rid of the Israelites. And they're going to snuff a whole lot of us, right? So when that happens, is why I'm trying to fill us up with this emotion right here, right? This is why I'm going into this, because when it's time to go somewhere, when it's time to turn into whatever ball is dominating your soul and your spirit, right? Because I know I turned into love, y'all, and I turned into love, and I was yielded into a place of love, a realm of love, right? And there is no confusion. I heard a brother tell me, man, he confused. He don't know it. Nah, there was no gap in my experience. It just played one after the other. It ain't how if you get knocked out or something, you know what I mean? No, I'm wide awake and I'm watching things change, right? You know, there was no gap in my consciousness. I went from place to place wide awake, y'all, right? And then when I got back here, I realized I had went somewhere. It was crazy, you know. I forgot how good I felt here when I went on that mission, right? It was something, y'all. while you're in it, it ain't like how you have a dream. You know you went to sleep, right? And you know things are happening in your dream. But there's a fogginess when you go from place to place. It wasn't like that. You know how you wake up and you know different things that happen in your dream, but you don't know how you got from dream to dream. You don't know what happened in between that. Yeah, well, this is not like that. This is connected. You're going from place to place and experience to experience without a gap, right? So when I open my eyes back in that hospital room again, it was like, oh, I was here, wasn't I? You know? And that my wife was like, you never close your eyes. Sister Shar says that video you posted of that other brother saying similar stuff you said, that tripped me out. It tripped me out. It tripped me out. And it made things, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it it had you understand, or me, it had me understand that there are other realms, you know. I didn't know how close or far they was, but I know they were there. I know I was jumping through stuff. I know that it was possible for me to stop anywhere if that was the Most High's will, you know, while I'm riding as this bubble, I know I was passing stuff. I couldn't see it, but you feel things. You can feel that it's something here and something there. You can feel things out in that space, right? And when I heard him doing that, and I heard him saying where he was, when he did that, I knew where he was. And I knew where I was. And that was very emotional. You know why, y'all? Because the Most High put me right up under him, y'all. He put me right up under him, y'all. Mm-mm-mm. Yikes. That's where the love realm is at, y'all. It's realms all through there in pockets and stuff in the space, right? In space. Most High right here, we were right there, y'all. And where the guy was, he was in between. Okay, you got the Most High here, you got Earth there, right? Or here. He was like halfway through that, right? I know where he was at. And that's cool too, you know? You would want to be there if all you make it to is there. then you will be satisfied. Because he said he felt the love. And then he said, because that's how it is. Your first thought is you think you feel love, and then you correct yourself and you say, no, I did the same thing. You correct yourself and you say, no, I was love, right? You realize it's not something that you're feeling, but it's something that you have become, right? And now I know that that place where I was, it was the hub of love, right? It is where love is dispatched from. In order for love to be felt, it's coming in and out of that realm that I was. I was love, right? Now, if you spend enough time in that place, I guess, and if you become trained or whatever, you'll get shipped out, you know? You will be employed. Make it there, y'all. Make it to that. That's what's on the table for us. And it was a cold thing that he let me come back to tell y'all that. Right? And that's how you know people's aim, y'all. And that's how you know, man, this things are so clear to me now. You don't have a Hebrew community, okay? You don't have one. All right? If they cracked on this because they worried about their position and things like this, and you put this over that, right? And now watch what happens. See how long they're able to keep that facade up after this. Because the Most High has left the building, right? Watch what I tell you. And he put me on it. He let me know what was what. He let me know what was what. And he didn't break it down. He didn't, you know, he didn't give it to me tit for tat. He showed me the end. And I probably have all what's in between too. I probably have that too. But he just ain't dialing me into it, you know. Sometimes I wake up stupid and don't know nothing until he wants to show me something. And you know what I'm saying? He pulls me back in that realm. You know, I get a tunnel vision. It gets dark, and then it's like a screen just comes on, and he'll show me something real quick for a second, and then and it'll be vivid, and I feel it, and it's you know what I'm saying. It's part of me. It's who I am, right? I can't ignore it. I can't go do something else. I can't spend my time or my day or my week or however long it takes. I can't rest until that thing is done, right? And sometimes it's just talk about this, talk about that, right? And before I started going live, I knew I had to, right? Because it was happening before I ever went live. And I was writing a lot of songs and doing stuff. I was about to try to put it in the music, you know, and this is strong stuff, y'all. This is powerful stuff. I know how powerful it is, you know. And then It's like I gotta leave this church, right? I gotta separate. But what we not gonna do is not talk about this. I knew I wasn't trying to get the phone calls. What are you talking about, brother? And this and that and this and that and blah blah. Nah, I wasn't about to deal with that. So I just left, but sorry about that. I didn't mean to go on that tangent like that. But man, when I think of that realm, when I think of it, I ain't got no control. I just gotta go into it and talk about what I gotta talk about. There is no way that I can fight that off, right? It's so strong. It takes total control. Like, I don't even be here. I'll be somewhere else when I start talking about that, y'all. Right? Chef T, Shalawam, Mark AZ, Shalawam, brother. Right? D Rich is in the building. Miss Angel is in the building. Just a higher, right? Yahoo Israel, Tex Moteen, Shalawam family. Pray y'all doing well, right? We just talking about becoming beautiful spirits, y'all. That's what I want. I don't want us to just make it by the skin of our teeth. I want us to become beautiful spirits, y'all, and jump these rounds, right? And just be employed by love, you know, be employed by love, y'all. Yeah, I wanted to finish that statement, and brother said I was confused. Man, that's what it ain't, brother. Ain't no confusion. Mm-mm. You know exactly what everything is, right? The longer I'm back here, the more I lose it, right? But man, while I was going through that thing, confusion is what it wasn't. Matter of fact, this place is the confusion, right? This place is the confusion. Acts 20 and 35. I have shewed you all things, how that so laboring you ought to support the weak, and to remember the words of the Lord Yasha, how he said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. I have shewed you all things. That's to shoot, right? That's when you have shoes. Some here, take that, right? When you tell somebody to shoot, you know what I mean? That means get out of here, right? He's taking his good and I have shewed you all things. It don't matter what it is. He shewed it. So, what easy, man, that's an easy way to be like Christ, man. I understand the parts that are hard, right? You got to have a certain knowledge, you got to have a certain expertise and you just ain't got that yet, but you're striving and you're working hard in your righteousness, trying to become like Christ. This ain't that, right? This is easy. I have it. Whew, now I don't. Right? Break it off. Drop it like it's hot, right? And it ain't it ain't about that, but there's a certain mind and a heart, right? That this has to come from. That's what's making this possible is the heart and the mind, right? So even if you have to be a grudging giver in the beginning, I mean, it takes practice, right? It's going to get easier, right? But just let things go because that's the best thing we could do for each other in this realm, right? Remember, I said if you seen a turd slap some corn off another turd's back, it'll have you, you'll grow some compassion for a turd, wouldn't it? See that? There's nothing better in this earth, y'all, than giving and being able to give and being able to extend something from yourself to another person, right? Selflessly, right? It's a beautiful thing, y'all. 1 Corinthians 29 and 17. 1 Corinthians 29 and 17. We so tight, y'all. We can make a lot of things happen. We could do a lot of things, right? We can do all kind of stuff. We could come together in all kind of ways, Hebrews, right? Until money is mentioned. You mention money, all right? And when they fall out, what is it over? Money. All the time. And I'm just like, man, I'm in the spirit. I'm like, man, who cares? Why do you care so much? Greed is a cold thing, you know? And I know we could do it because I seen it in Brunity, right? We were some brothers, man. We did not care what you. Oh, you need that? Oh, that ain't nothing. Toss it, send it, right? And I remember having the thought, man, I wish it could be, the nation doing this, man. I wish the nation was like this, right? Ask the brothers, man. Ask Ock Trip. Ask Gabar Moth. Ask Yasa. Ask Shamar Yataza, right? And now ask Ayalawan, right? We'll spread it around. Give it back when you give it back, or don't. I'm trying to find a place to flee to and prepare now before the MOB. Flee to. Where are you fleeing to? Why are you fleeing? Right? That sounds like fear, right? Uh, do what you want to do, man. Do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because you're trying to flee something. Prepare before the wilderness. You got to prepare for it. That's all fear, brother. To congregate and survive with food. All praise to the Most High. I can dig it. But yeah, that those were scare tactics. Uh, when you think about that, it was all bull. Because them scriptures say don't even come off the roof to go in your house. So what are you preparing for? You don't need to prepare. You just take off running. You know what I'm saying? And the Most High is going to take care of you wherever thou goest, right? You might have to go a few days without a drink of water. That's why we supposed to be fasting and getting experience in that, because you never know when all of a sudden you're gonna have to go 72 hours without a drink of water. You're gonna have to go 4 days, right, without a meal, without something to eat. You know, we ain't gonna be able to take nothing with us. You know how heavy food is? And if you got little kids, it's like, okay, do I grab this bug out bag or do I grab my kid? You know what I'm saying? I believe in the Most High enough, too much for that. Oh, so many more things came clear to me. That's something that stuck with me out of the experience. That was another, those were questions I had too that were answered. And I kind of already knew that, before my experience, I knew that. I wasn't in no hurry to get nowhere. I wasn't in no rush. And I been made up my mind. If I get out of here, all praises. If I don't get out of here, I wouldn't mind helping people right here where I'm at while everything is on fire. I would, you know what I mean? I would find satisfaction in my soul just helping the people that's around me. Oh no, don't go that way. Come on, come this way. Come with me right here, and take them somewhere in the dark, where we got a little fire going, you know what I'm saying? Some hidden spot somewhere up under some warehouse somewhere where it's black dark. We gotta start a fire to see it up under there, you know what I'm saying? And pull some type of goddamn beans or something up out of can and just, you know, whip something up for them because I know they ain't ate in like 5 days. Man, I got some little beans over here. Man, I would have a ball just doing that. You fool, you got, you want another piece of this bread, bang, you know, and then run back out there and try to find somebody else. I would have fun just doing that until they catch me or do whatever they're gonna do with me or whatever. You know, I wasn't worried about doing nothing or going nowhere. You know what I mean? But what I did want to do is just start traveling, man. Put some stamps in that passport, go here, go there, and be comfortable doing it. Just travel. To where when something is going down, it's like, okay, I want to get over here. I liked when I was in this country, I liked it over there, you know what I mean, over here, blah, blah, and just, try to get in front of the curve and just go settle in there before everything shuts down, while everything is still up and moving around. And that's if I was gonna go somewhere else and do things like that, but yeah, I ain't afraid. Or blow me up, you know, blow me up. Death don't stop nothing, y'all. I'm different. Now that I've been where I've been and all of that, I don't care. I don't care about anything. I was Mr. Want Nothing before that happened, but really now it's like, yikes. You ain't got nothing. If you hear my voice, don't worry about nothing. Even if you die, right? Even if death comes upon you right now, don't worry about nothing. I hope you got enough faith in the Father to where He's pleased with you, to where you don't go somewhere messed up if your heart stopped right now. And that's why I'm talking to you about what I'm talking to you about this Sabbath, right? Because if you change your heart, it don't matter. Nothing else matters. Your mind don't matter, you know. No other part of your flesh matter. What your eyes see don't matter. What your ears hear don't matter, right? If you change your heart when you shed this flesh, where does love live? In the heart, y'all. I turned into love and I went into a realm of love. That's why nothing's more important. When I got back here, I said, First Corinthians chapter 13 is the only chapter in this whole book that matters. If you don't have that chapter, you're in trouble. I don't care what you know. I don't care what other book you try to go to in the Bible or whatever. I don't care what you can pull out, what other thing you know what I'm saying? I don't care what other thing you can pull out. Even if Christ said it, you know, because what Christ said, it's a whole lot of it, right? You can't pull one thing Christ said and it's going to mean more than what's in First Corinthians 13, y'all. You know, and if we follow Christ, we got to take it all as a collective. If you fall off on any part of what Christ says, you're in trouble. You're in trouble if you're doing it like that. And chances are you're going to miss something. That's what y'all been trying to do all this time, was follow Christ. And it's like, boo, right? Christ wouldn't do that right there. Christ wouldn't say that right there, what you're saying. That action that you just did, right? You dealing with this over here. You done left that over there, right? But you're so occupied over here and you think you're following Christ. What embodies it all and makes it easy? 1 Corinthians chapter 13. You can't miss. You can't miss, y'all. That chapter. Christ said, I'm out of here. A better work shall y'all do. What was he talking about? He probably was talking about 1 Corinthians chapter 13 as the greater work, right? Oh, don't trip, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Paul, right? Paul gonna give you the chapter, right? So it's a cold thing that I was able to come speak these words right here, right now. You see that? Christ wasn't worried about it because he was like, Paul's gonna leave that. Brian's gonna go get it. Brian's gonna go into that realm and come back. He knows the beginning and the end, don't he? Right? And it's crazy. It'd be crazy to me sometimes. Sometimes I feel crazy, y'all. Like, what did the Most High do? Right? What did he do with me? It's very emotional when I'm not in front of this camera and stuff, y'all. And when I'm not in front of people and when my family is not with me and things like that. When I'm by myself, it's crazy, y'all. But that's the only chapter you need. That's the only chapter you need. Have fun with the other stuff, right? Have fun with it. You know? It's good stuff and it's wisdom and all of that and it's knowledge. Have fun with that. But man, first and foremost, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, y'all. Read it every day. Read it every day. The whole chapter. The whole chapter. Right? Just make up your mind, a mental note. A mental note that every day I'm going to go, I'm going to read that chapter. It's only 13 verses, right? It's only 13 verses. Read that. And by the time you get to the end of, by the time you get to that verse 13, you should be full of what it's going to take for you to go out into the world for the day and go be a good person, right? And that's what we aiming for, right? Who cares about all of the other stuff and all of the other stuff that's going to lead you to fighting and stuff? You ever seen how Hebrews, how they be battling and how they be bickering and debating and, you know, how these facts could get you tangled up? And it's like, wait a minute, you done got hung up on this knowledge and you don't even realize that you got a vein popping out your head right now talking about what you know and how much it's over what somebody else knows, right? Knowledge puffeth up. But what does charity do? It edifies. Knowledge puff up, charity edifies, right? The water bronze for your obedience to the Most High. That is now edification to us, knowledge to us, a blessing unto us. All praises to the Most High and unto me too. And unto me too. You know, and let's get that clear right now. I ain't nothing. You know, I ain't nobody, y'all. I'm a foot washer. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a toilet scrubber. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna never see me big and bad on no big chair with jewels on. Nah, let me to this bathroom. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a real servant, y'all. I don't want no praise or none of that. And the Most High know that about me, and that's probably why He gave me what He gave me. Because this is dangerous in somebody else's hands. You know, this is dangerous what I got. You know, I know it, but guess what? It's good though. That's my main message. First Corinthians chapter 13. Change your heart. Change what you do with your hands. Change what your mind think and make it harmless, right? And make it selfless, right? That'll be my message to the earth, right? Love, LOVE, right? Learn one valuable example, right? I know we got off the path, but man, when we run into this, I really like to stretch it out and try to milk it for all that this conversation right here is worth, right? And now I understand why our leaders ain't been saying this, right? Because, boy, when you find out, boy, when you find out. But back to what I was saying, change your heart, become better people, right? Become somebody that a stranger don't mind sitting next to, want to be around, right? And if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing, yet as he ought to know, right? So you know a lot of things, but the main thing you should know, you don't. You see how easy that is to get caught up in all of this other knowledge out here, you know? And nothing you be saying have anything to do with First Corinthians chapter 13. Right? And I had to get thrusted into another realm, right? And receive that. But guess what? Whenever I looked at that chapter, it meant a lot to me. And I think that that might be, you know, what got me chosen by the love, you know, and you, because I know I'm not the only one, you know, and the brother with the experience, uh, he he got he got close to where I was, and I don't even think he was in the book, but you know, by the way that they was doing him in North Carolina, you know, the prejudiceness, a part of his soul yearned right, you know, it yearned right. It yearned for peace. And I believe that he got granted that peace when he shed his flesh. It got him in that realm, right? Why? because of sorrow. Sorrow is so packed, y'all. We gonna have to, let me make a note. Have to do one on sorrow. If you can't feel love and joy and all of this kind of stuff, don't choose anger. Choose sorrow. Because Father is close to sorrow. If you get sad enough, the Father will send you refuge straight out of the heavens. If you just, you know, that's why I say go to the house of mourning, right? But back to what we was talking about, right? Second Corinthians 9:6. Remember when it said, he which soweth sparingly shall reap sparingly, and he that soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully. Let's precept that over here. The more you do, the better you're going to come out, right? And we're talking about what we're doing for the Most High, right? What we are doing for the Most High is what we're talking about. And that sent my mind to Ecclesiasticus 43 and 30, right? Ecclesiasticus 43 and 30, right? And it says, when ye glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as ye can. That's why it says that as much as you can. Go hard. Do it hard and do it a lot. Right? Why? Because for even yet will he far exceed. He gonna do more than you. Do it as much as you can and do it as hard as you can. Give it everything you got. And I bet you even then he's gonna trump you. When he make his move, oh, right? I did all kind of stuff, got me looked at weird in this earth. I said a lot of words that made everybody look at me crazy, right? For the Most High, right? I got frowned upon a lot for the Most High. But when he did his, what did he do? Show me that electric, that sapphire blue. How can I compete with that, right? So go hard, y'all. Go hard for it, right? Go hard for the Father. It ain't about no men. It ain't about nobody in this earth. That's between you and your Father. And watch what he will show you, right? And good luck explaining how great you feel. Good luck explaining that to somebody, right? It ain't to be explained. It's to be felt, right? And if you're feeling it, then you're reaping that. You're reaping that from your work, right? From your connection and your relationship with him. I could try to talk about it, right? But to explain this feeling, I can't. And I'm definitely a different man sitting here than I was before July 2023, right? That's how I could walk away from the gathering of Christ church, right? That's how I could do it, you know? Mm-mm. Ain't got to do that no more. Nah, you come get on what I'm talking about, or else I love you, right? I still love you, right? And we don't got to be separated. But if we are, it's because you ain't where I'm at, you know? Come be where I'm at. I know I said I didn't want none of y'all with me. I know I told all y'all to stay there. But guess what? That's when I thought you was somewhere else. Now I know where you are. And it's like, I feel sorry for whoever stays there and finds out who you've been following and what all, you know what I'm saying? Think about where you guys are going to meet at. Think about that. If you're in the Gathering of Christ church, you know where they said y'all are going to meet at, right? Think about that. Where are you meeting at again? If you know, don't say it. Don't put it in this chat, please. But just for y'all in that group, where are you meeting at again if something goes down? And do you remember at the same, I don't know if he forgot what he taught us about that place or what. That should let you know right there. It's a setup. I feel sorry for you if you hang on his every word all the way to the end. Because in the end is where a different face is going to turn around like this. Different face and a different look in the eyes. And I seen it. I saw that when he was talking about me. I couldn't even stay there. I'm telling y'all, I didn't have no more than 3 minutes at a time. I went in there about 3 times, 3 minutes at a time. I couldn't look in his face. I couldn't look in his eyes. I was seeing something else. I was seeing somebody else. I was seeing why the Most High was telling me what he was telling me. And the whole time, the Most High is saying, don't ever question me again. When I tell you to move, you move. Don't you ever question me again when I tell you something. And I said, yes, Father. I do apologize, right? Because, but I'm alone. I'm by myself right now out here where I'm at. My family's gone. But I'm going to tell you, I'm never alone. I'm never alone. Blow me up right now, and I'm gonna be right back where I was at. You know? And I remember I didn't want to leave there. And then when I thought about it, I was like, Earth ain't that bad either. I could be wherever, you know? So what? I could come back here. I could do whatever work needs to be done. I can do this now, right? Definitely ain't no man gonna tell me nothing that don't make sense, right? A man can tell me a lot of things. He can tell me a lot of things, but what he's not gonna do is stand in between me and the Most High and and play the Most High. That's what he's not gonna do. He's not gonna switch the Most High out for himself. That's over, right? And neither would I ever try to do that to anybody else. Ask anybody what I've been saying. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Find out. Find out what you need to find out. Do what you need to do in order to find out what you need to find out and have it register in your mind, right? Because nobody can make anything register in your mind. You have to go through that experience, right? Some people got to go through it 5 times. Some people got to go through it 25 times. But nobody can tell your brain when to register what you need to hear or what you need to know, right? And it's crazy for any man to think that he could stand up and control that for you. That's crazy. That's the Most High never meant that. He never meant for that. He never meant for that to be so, right? But I mean, that's an example that we have to pull from, right? And if they didn't want to be an example, then they shouldn't have made themselves an example, right? But once we can see it and once we can touch bases on that and make that clear, then we're going to use that, right? I wish I could say that without the example that I needed to use. I wish I could drive that lesson home to y'all, but there's no other way to drive it home, right? So we got to use the example that we have. They shouldn't have made themselves no example, right? That's their fault. That ain't our fault. But what we are going to do, we're going to watch, listen, and learn, right? You can learn a lot from anybody, right? Sometimes you're learning what not to do and who not to be and how not to be, right? But let's finish reading Ecclesiasticus 43, right? When ye glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as ye can, for even yet will he far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, right? And be not weary. Don't get tired, right? For ye can never go far enough. Remind me again, what is this super brew? Because that right there just said you can't go too far. It's impossible to go too far for the Most High, right? Now, the scripture that says, be not righteous over much, let's go there. Let's go there. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, right? Where we gonna go? 15? Let's go to 15. Because they'll go straight to 16 and say, be not righteous over much, right? Neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself, right? And then they skating up out of there quick, fast, in a hurry. But no, wait a minute. Take off your rocket shoes, brother. Slow down, right? 15. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity, right? Wow. So this is Solomon, right? The wisest man, right? He's seen a lot of things in his vain days. A lot of things in his vain days, right? Tell us more. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness. And that's who this is for. The righteous man, that he's so righteous, he kills himself, right? There's a lot of ways to do that. There's a lot of ways to be so righteous that you kill yourself, right? It's a way to be so bothered by unrighteousness that you give yourself a heart attack. You can do that, right? But let's read it. And there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness. So that's what this is about. This is about picking your battles, y'all. This is wisdom on how to pick your battles and be righteous without killing yourself, right? Yeah, that's what this is about. Then it goes into it. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. How can you be over wise? How can you know too much? Can you possibly know? Is there a way knowing too much can threaten you? No. The more you know, the better, right? Because the more you know, the more you're going to know how to come out on the other side of it, right? So the problem ain't knowledge. If you get enough knowledge, make sure you get enough to know that you should not destroy yourself, right? So ain't nothing wrong with knowledge or wisdom, because that's where wise is, is coming from, right? Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? So if it ain't destroying you, then they can't call it righteous over much, right? What's righteous over much? I'm leaving here right now and I'm going, and Esau is never selling another piece of bacon. That's righteous over much, right? And then I go act a fool in the grocery store and get shot by the police. That's righteous over much. Is it wrong? No. You know, the Most High might get you somewhere. He might, he might appreciate you for that. Yeah, I told him about that dang bacon, son. But you're here now, right? you know, he might appreciate that. But he's telling you, don't do that. Don't be righteous over much. Why should you destroy yourself before your time? Right? Matthew 6 and 34 again, right? Sufficient for today is the evil thereof, right? It's enough evil right now today to go out there and find, right? You don't need the evil of yesterday and tomorrow. You got enough evil right now today to deal with, right? Why are you worrying about tomorrow and yesterday? You have enough evil right now today to deal with, right? If you go to the store, y'all sell one more spiral ham up in here, right? You could be over righteous like that and go, destroy yourself before your time. You could go be over wise. That's over wise, right? Where you can't shut up, you know? Get yourself clapped out there somewhere. That's what this is. That's what that's talking about, y'all. Right? But that ain't what that's talking about. That ain't what Ecclesiasticus 43 is talking about when it's saying, for ye can never go far enough. How is this talking about? This is talking about in love, right? Why in love? Because love does what? No ill to his neighbor, y'all. Love will have you do good to your neighbor, ain't it? You see that? You can never go far enough in that, right? And just rock with me, y'all. We're going to become beautiful people, right? Beautiful people. And I just can't wait till the people that are where I'm not can start getting fed and can start getting blessed and could start having the experience with us that they're not having anywhere else, to where they're blown away like, man, where they got to tell somebody. Like I told y'all, right, before. Man, I got approached by this guy today, right? Make him go get on the phone, right? He looked like a thug when I looked at him, but man, about to need some light, right? Sabbath is almost off, y'all. We brought it in and we taking it out, ain't it? Wise as serpents, harmless as doves. You don't know nothing about the doves. You don't go back that far. You go back to the doves. Woo-hoo! You a trooper. You a real soldier, ain't you? All praise it to the Most High. I love that song, right? We know what's up, right? All praise it to the Most High. Uh, Mark A.Z. pulling out his scriptures. Let's see. Psalm 19:9. What's that talking about? The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgment of the Lord are true and righteous altogether, right? You could read that. You could take a lot from that, right? That ain't empty when I read that. That means a lot of things. That makes me want to go into public and be the kind of soul that people ain't seen in a while, right? That's what these scriptures should be encouraging us to do, right? And that's what the Most High is getting done, y'all. Y'all watch. Y'all watch. What kind of souls is going to come forward out of this? Ain't that right, Ricardo Gonzalez? It's going to happen. It has to happen. The meek will gather and give praise to a higher. It's my brother right there. I couldn't have said that no better. I've said I don't know how many words trying to just say what he just said. It's going to happen, y'all. It has to happen. Why? Because the meek shall inherit the earth. The meek gonna inherit it. That's who gonna get it. Not big bosses taking everything in the earth. They gonna lose it all. The people that's kicking back and just watching things and saying, yeah, that wasn't right there. Just don't let me be like that. Matter of fact, brother, hey, I got this right here. Bang, 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 bang. Break that off. Right? Do for folks selflessly, right? Just to not be like what you just saw, right? Because you know the meek shall inherit the earth. What is meek, y'all? It ain't a taker. It ain't the big and bad and powerful and right? Big bad and pompous and everything is gold and you know what I mean? Big chairs and nah. That's not who's gonna inherit it. You know why? Because they already had it. They already had it. You know what a big fear of mine is? Used to be. I used to be scared to wake up filthy rich, y'all. I used to fear that. Because I used to love what I was doing with what I had, blah, blah. What if you get so much, right? You can't get rid of it. If I woke up with $1 billion, I lose my mind, You'll see some crazy stuff. You know why? Because I got to have less than 100,000. Anything over 100,000, I'm nervous, right? I'm gonna blow that up. I'm making cities, right? I'm making cities, y'all. Y'all live here. Go to the next state. Y'all live here. Go to the next state, right? Oh, I'm trying to blow it. You know? What charitable act can you do? You know? Because Christ told that man, sell it and give it to the poor. Sell it and give it to the poor. So how you swimming in the sea of coins? How you Scrooge McDucking it? You know what I'm saying? How you doing that? You better get the selling and giving, right? Sell it and give the proceeds to the poor. That's who. Come around the corner on the person who ain't got nothing and say, guess what? Now you do. Now you have it, right? That's the kind of savior we got, y'all. You following Christ, huh? You following Christ? No, you're not. No, you ain't. Because what Christ tell you, right? Nah, you doing the opposite. And the sea of coins you swimming in came from the body. That's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all better wake up out there, right? You better wake up. You better wake up out there, man. Hey, I hate me too. I can't stand. I hate Brother Bronze. Right? I can't stand myself, man. So stupid, right? Ecclesiastes 7:12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it, right? Wisdom give life now. You know, money is a defense, but too much money will become an offense, right? And now it's time to let's rob this fool, you know? We about to rob this fool and we gonna shoot him, right? He told you where it was and everything, and you still popped him, right? That's because of this. Too much money becomes an offense, right? Wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. So if wisdom give life, then what money gonna give? Death. Even if they never admit it. That's why they smoked you, right? That's why they did it. Mm, mm, mm. Boy, boy, boy. Right? Wisdom give life to them that have it. That's what I was saying about wisdom. Wisdom is going to tell you to get love. Wisdom is going to tell you it don't matter what you got. It don't matter what you got. Wisdom is going to tell you how to not kill yourself with it. Can you imagine that? If a dummy get too much money, they're going to destroy themselves. It's wisdom that'll have you do the right thing with money, right? And not destroy yourself. Huh? Uh-huh. Wisdom, y'all. At the height of wisdom, it passes you off to love, right? Love is a thing of the wise, right? The unwise don't know what to do with love. They put love in the wrong places, right? They think love is, uh, they think love is feeling fond, to feel fond of something or somebody. And they think long as they do that, they all right. But no, you have to have what? Law. You have to have understand law. You have to have law under your belt, or else you'll do what? You'll give away sin. You'll love sin. If you don't know the law, you'll give away pork chop sandwiches, right? You'll fall in love with love itself and make yourself an adulterer and a fornicator, right? Because you want to love every woman or man you see. You'll think that's what love is. Nah. Love is a thing of the wise, right? Get the wisdom first, and then you'll be able to love. But a good blueprint to start and finish at. Somebody put the chapter in here for me. Let's see how well we've been listening. Put the chapter in here. What chapter I'm talking about, y'all? 159. Perfect. What chapter we looking for, y'all? What chapter is the love? There it is. There it is. Let me see them. All praises to the Most High. I want to see it. Tell me you ready, baby. I want to hear it. Tell me you ready. All Father moving, baby. It's a redemption. Oh, it's a what? Most High Christ said, I really can't take nothing from it. World can't do nothing for me, can't take nothing out of here. None of it. Huh? $2 in, y'all. I love y'all so much. I know you know it, right? Uh, I love the Most High, y'all, and I know y'all do. But guess what? He wasn't about to leave us deceived, y'all. He loved us that much. He pulled us out, right? First Corinthians say it's gonna pass away, right? Harold Draper bringing it out. Shalawam, gotta finish that chop up. Gotta jump on the line with you, and really, lock it in real good. You know what I'm saying? But California, tap in, get with us. I hope we could get somebody right now that's willing to go out tomorrow, right? And go assemble yourself for the Most High in Christ and get blessed, right? And get spoiled. I pray y'all be ready to go out tomorrow. Go out, show some love tomorrow, man. Go out, take the love of Christ to the public, right? Link in, get this flyer if you ain't got it. And go duplicate this thing and go pass them out and go get whatever conversation going that you could get going, right? California, tap in, wherever you at, tap in, right? We ready to hang out. We ready to fellowship. Baptize all. I gotta put together a baptism soon, right? That part, right? Arizona, tap in. D Rich is waiting on you, right? My elder, right? Vegas, tap in. Yahweh Shai is waiting on you. Colorado, tap in. Payam is waiting for you, right? Houston, tap in. Benaiah is waiting for you. Dallas, Fort Worth, tap in. Yashariah is waiting for you. San Antonio, tap in. JJ's waiting for you. North Carolina, tap in. Ramak's waiting for you, right? Tap in. Florida, tap in. Yalawan's waiting for you, right? Brother Otto is waiting for you, right? We waiting for you. Louisiana, tap in. The war's waiting for you. Detroit, Kentucky, right? Ohio, we waiting for you. New Zealand, South Africa, right? Y'all tap in. And let's make this thing beautiful for the Most High in Christ. And let's flip Let's flip some of these rogue spirits into good, blessed, beautiful spirits, right? And they ain't nothing but moods. Let's put ourselves in a good mood so we could spread the good mood, right? That's bringing one to mind. That's what this scripture has always meant, right? That's what this scripture has always meant, y'all. Telling you, I'm seeing things so much differently these days. Not reading the same book anymore after 17 years, right? Proverbs 27 and 17, right? As iron sharpens iron, right? So a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friends. What is that? You changing spirits. You switching spirits out. Iron sharpens iron. So when iron rub together, they sharpen each other, right? And that's comparing it to when a man sharpened the countenance of his friends. What is countenance? Your face. So when one face is happy and the other face is sad, you goofy, he mad, he trying to be mad, right? And what's gonna happen? If you goofy, you playing around, you know how to mess with him, right? He gonna start grinning. That's what this is talking about. And guess what you just did? You just took a bad spirit where he just like, oh, come on, baby, don't, you know what I'm saying? Why you looking like that? Get that look off your face and blah blah. You messing with him, he gonna start. He's like, leave me alone. Not get it. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen that before? That's the situation that this scripture just described, y'all. Iron sharpened iron. So a man sharpened the countenance of his friend. You don't want to see your friend be down, right? So you're going to do what you have to do to change his face. And when you're changing his face, guess what you changed? His spirit. That's what you changed, right? All praises be to the Most High. I love y'all. I'm going to hit this button and tap in with y'all as soon as possible, right? As soon as I can. And we're going to get us another one in, right? Figure out something else to talk about, right? But let's type this in here. Plant Vineyards 144 at gmail.com. Y'all link in, right? Forget the rest later for that, but link in at the email, leave a number just in case, because I like to call folks, right? So leave your number there and let's chop it up, right? And I'll hit this button again soon. All right. Love y'all. Right. Shalawam.